What is happening, my blocked buddies? This is blocked content, and we're actually talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild today, but about something very specific about that game. And of course, we're a big fan of that franchise. We're a big fan of the upcoming game. We've played it for about 6 hours, and we can safely say that it is the most amazing, immersive Zelda experience to date. It's open world, it looks awesome, and it plays just like a sort of a survival kind of game. And of course, as you know, you play as Link, the legendary, hero of time, and every single game he's a different kind of incarnation, save for some, direct sequels and stuff like that. And everyone is kind of wondering, what is going on with Link in this game? He awakes, of course, from this pod in some sort of resurrection chamber right there in the beginning of the Breath of the Wild. But also, is it possible that we might have a different character to play as in this game? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want that. And the reason that I kind of want to say a little bit about also GameXplain, by the way, I love those guys. They're doing awesome work, and I watch a lot of their videos, actually. They had this video about a potential female Link appearing in the previous trailer. And even though it was taken down, it was taken offline for a reason that I don't know. I don't really want to analyze that one. But it's also very interesting to me to think about a female Link in that game. Whether or not that video is online or offline, I think that conversation needs to happen because Nintendo has said that there is no different character to play as in the game. That's been on record, and for sure we know that Link is the only playable character. But I want to let you guys know a little bit that I found on the internet, right? So there's this girl called Emily Rogers, and we've talked about her before on this channel on Block Content, but Emily Rogers in the past has also done a lot of these rumors, and she describes herself as being in a relationship with someone at Nintendo marketing and sort of a fly on the wall that can, find all these hidden secrets and details and rumors from all sides of the gaming universe. And to me, that's very exciting because I dug up some old things where she actually said that there is a rumor, yes, Zelda is coming to both Wii U and NX. I confirmed it with a ton of people. You can choose which one to get or get both. And this is, of course, very funny because this was a while back. This was actually a long while back, and she turned out to be completely right on this, right? Because we now know the NX is called the Switch, and we know that Nintendo has announced that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will come to the Wii U and both the Switch. So yeah, you can choose which one to get or get both. Totally makes sense. And there is also a rumor that she says there is voice acting for most of the characters except for Link. Okay, sure, that makes sense to me, but other than it making sense, it's very exciting to think about the possibility that we'll have full voice acting in the game, right? That'd be just amazing. We know from the gameplay that we played, this old man in the beginning, in the plateau, basically, that guy, he spoke, but none of his dialogue that was in the text box was being, voice acted. So maybe we'll have voice acting in sort of the cutscene. So I don't think there will be voice acting for most of the characters or all the characters, but to me, the most interesting rumor that she posted way back when was actually something called rumor number 2, and there she says, I heard from multiple sources that you can choose between a male or female as your playable character in Zelda. So this post has since gotten a lot of attention from a lot of people, but it's kind of dropped down the wayside, and I think that is for a reason, because it is so interesting to me that this is still something that can be discussed right now, right? Because we've already heard Nintendo say, hey, there's no playable character, no other playable character aside from Link. And of course, Nintendo would say something like that, because if they say, well, we'll have to wait and see, then it sparks even more controversy. It sparks even more discussion about that. And to me, that is exciting because I'm a part of that world, but to everyone else, that'd be kind of a bummer, right? I think that Nintendo is being really smart with being mum about this, and the reason that I think that Emily Rogers might be right, there's two big reasons for me. Number one is that I think that Emily Rogers has proven in the past that she has, in fact, been completely right on a lot of accounts that were pretty out there kind of things, kind of rumors to say. And that is, of course, very exciting to think about, because that means that rumor, what she called rumor number 2, would be completely right as well. Think about playing a male or female character in Zelda. What if you maybe down the road in the game play as a different character for a little while? What if that were to happen? Because we see in the trailer, the new trailer from Breath of the Wild that dropped at the Game Awards, that there is in fact a female sort of, character in the game that everyone kind of speculates to be Zelda, and she's wearing the exact same outfit, or at least the exact same color and patterns as Link is in the game. The blue outfit with the Sheikah kind of symbols on it. And now thinking about that little part of the trailer, sort of in conjunction with what we know from Emily Rogers and, all the, hype that's kind of built up around when can we play as a female character in The Legend of Zelda. It kind of fits perfectly their franchise, right? Because Link is sort of this kind of nameless, speechless hero. Why can't it be a woman, right? And I totally agree on that. There is no reason that Link has to be a man for story purposes at all. I don't think so. So to me, I invite that idea with open arms. I would love that. And, in conjunction with that rumor that Emily Rogers said, aside from the fact that sometimes she might have not been right at all, but sometimes she's completely dead on it. And, of course, in the trailer, we saw this female Link. To me, that is sort of a weird sort of discussion that I think could kind of bloom into something more, right? We're not done talking about that, and I think that it's very smart if we would sort of kind of get a dialogue going about this. Because to me, it is exciting that we might be able to play as a different character in this game, but can we maybe look through the trailers if there is kind of a trace for that? And I know in the previous video about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in the analysis that I did on the previous trailer, I actually said, hey, to me, it would be kind of weird to play as a female character in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for kind of a number of reasons. But number one to me would be that you can kind of strip your hero down, right? You can strip Link down to his underwear for maybe certain areas. Maybe you'll be at a volcano kind of area and it'd be too hot and you'll have to strip down to your underwear to kind of not die. Maybe you lose hearts in the heat, kind of like how you lose hearts in the heart of winter right there on the mountaintops, and you have to dress appropriately. So thinking about that fact, it's all kind of fun and games when it happens to a male Link, and he kind of shivers in the cold, and that animation looks very cute and stuff like that. But if you think about that same fact happening to a woman, suddenly it becomes a whole new discussion, right? And that's kind of weird. That's kind of, that's kind of how the world works, I guess. But yeah, it would be kind of strange to have a female character stripped down to her underwear and shiver in the cold like that, because that, thinking about the whole male gaze kind of situation, that wouldn't be all that smart from Nintendo. And Nintendo is doing their best to actually sort of censor different games on their system. So being, a Nintendo game themselves, they wouldn't really want to do that. So that's the reason that I don't think that it might be a full-fledged playable character throughout the whole game, but I think that there might be a possibility that you'll play as a female Link, or maybe that female Link is Aryll, as we kind of predicted in a previous video. Maybe that turns out to be true or not, or maybe it is Princess Zelda, and maybe we'll play as that character in the game for a short time. We don't really know. I mean, did any of us expect to play as Peach in the Paper Mario games? The earlier ones where you're like in the belly of the beast, basically, and you're Princess Peach. Maybe something like that will happen in Breath of the Wild. So that still could be going on. And to me, that is very interesting, because I've never really thought about playing as anyone else in a Zelda game but Link, right? But playing as Zelda kind of makes sort of sense because of the name of the game. But I want to know what you guys think about all this. I want to thank GameXplain for kind of sparking the discussion. You guys are doing great work, and I really enjoy you guys. I enjoy listening as like a fan, definitely. But I think it's kind of weird that you dropped that video, and I think that discussion is something that needs to be discussed. So I'm inviting all of you guys here to put down in the comments right now, what do you think? Should there be a female Link, a female playable character in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or should they kind of leave that idea alone? I don't think we'll get Linkle or something like that at all. I think that's sort of a weird, kind of almost like a fan character, right? And I don't think that'll happen. But I personally think that it might be possible that we'll have a female Link in the game, something like that. So I really didn't want to totally stop the conversation about this. I invite that conversation, and I want people to talk about this because it could be a big change for the Legend of Zelda franchise. So I want you guys to do the following, right? I want you to type in a comment. I want you to think about if you want this, sort of female Link in the game, or Zelda or Playable or whatever. What do you think should happen with that franchise going forward? Should Link always be the hero of the game, or should they kind of change it up down the road? I think that it's an interesting idea. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to, kind of comment on you guys if I see something very interesting. So try and be unique and we'll get there. Thank you so much for watching. This was Blocked Content. We always report on all the Nintendo news and the Switch news coming in, but right now I just had to stop and kind of think about this whole situation first, because it kind of needs to be discussed and I want you guys to be those guys, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to Blocked Content, please hit the subscribe button and become part of our family, because as you know, we discuss all that kind of stuff and you need to be in on that discussion. We'll see you guys around the corner where there's always more Nintendo Switch news.